will be watching this, hopefully tomorrow afternoon. My review for The Last of Us Episode 3 will already be coming out. It is what it is. Anyways, though, I was not surprised by this news. I'm not. Not one bit. Last of Us renewed for a Season 2 by HBO as premiere hits 22 million viewers. Viewership for the acclaimed Apocalypse series continues to climb. Granted, I'm recording this before Part 2 comes out. Well, Part 3. Part 2 came out last week. So, I don't know how this next episode's going to do. Personally, I think this next episode is going to be the biggest proving ground for the show, because if they... I don't have any faith. I really don't have any faith. I'm not surprised it's getting a Season 2. Neil Druckmann really wants to go into his Last of Us Part 2 with all the want in the world, because he wants to get that Abby smashing in Joel's head with a 5-iron. But again, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised, because I predicted before the show released, first 2 episodes would be decent. I have tons of problems. I'm able to rip into the show left, right, and center. But I'm not surprised either. I'm not surprised that people are liking it. You know, you're sitting at a 97% positive reviews among critics on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You know, your viewership's climbing. The very beautiful movie. TV series. I can attest to that. It is very beautiful. Greatly shot. Looks pretty. Story's garbage, though. Their reasoning for doing stuff is garbage. And in one of the latest interviews shortly after the show, actually, I'll pull it up real quick. History, because I just had it here. And this, okay, came out shortly after the show from Variety. They talk about how the system started. And before, you know, you had some ambiguity. You didn't really know. You could have theories. People noticed in the first episode that Joel and Sarah avoid eating foods with flour in them, like the birthday cake, pancakes, and the neighbor's biscuits. Jakarta also has one of the world's largest flour mills, which seems to connect the fungus spread with the contaminated flour. Is that theory correct? Mason, I think it's pretty explicit. Druckmann, yeah, we pretty much said yes. That doesn't make sense when you take into account that fungus that we eat, well, not fungus, the grain that we eat here in America is produced here in America. When you do the grain for that food, it has to be dried, it has to be sanitized, and it has to be tested. If it's crap, it gets destroyed. It does not make sense. So yeah, I've been tearing into the show because the logic doesn't make sense. Getting rid of the spores for hive mind tendrils really doesn't make sense, because the spores in the game had a system. They worked underground. Okay, they were in dark underground spaces. That's where the spores were because of the super guys. Then, when you look at the show, when it comes to the fight with the frickin'... I liked this at the time, and then I thought more about it afterwards. You get the fight with the clickers. Doesn't make sense because one main reason. How does the fight begin after Joel shines a light on a clicker? Clickers can't see, so why are you ducking around and hiding when all you have to do is quietly dodge around them? Make sure they don't hear you. You just have to be quiet. So why are you hiding? The show doesn't make sense the more you think about it. Logic dictates you do something else. And before you say, oh, well, in these moments they were adrenaline-filled and everything like else, adrenaline doesn't work like that. You don't become stupider with adrenaline if you're a well-trained fighter. You go into the motions, you know what you're doing, muscle memory kicks in, you know how to survive. So the show's crap. But, oh, look, it's pretty, all the story's good, it's shite. 97. I'm humbled and honored and frankly overwhelmed that so many have tuned in and connected with our retelling of Joel and Ellie's journey. What retelling? Again, I'm doing this before episode 3 comes out. I know what happens in episode 3. Joel and Ellie might have maybe 15 minutes total, an 80-minute episode. It is going to be all about Bill and Frank. It is not about Joel and Ellie. So, you haven't even talked about Joel and Ellie. You've been talking about everybody else. It is a character of the week story. It's not Joel and Ellie's story. said the executive producer Neil Druckmann. Oh, the collaborating with Craig Mazin, our incredible cast and crew, and HBO exceeded my already high expectations. Now we have the absolute pleasure of being able to do it again with Season 2. You're not going to do it again with Season 2 because we all know where roads lead. Abby, Big Papa Pump Abby, is going to come out with a 5-iron and bash Joel's head in. We know where this all roads lead. We know they're going to have a wonderful story with frickin' Ellie and her lesbian wife trying to get inseminated in the middle of an apocalypse. Doesn't make sense, but it's going to happen. You're going to have all sorts of other stories going on that don't make sense. Oh, but the biggest moment, the moment where Neil Druckmann shows that he hates what Amy Hennig did. He hates Last of Us. The 5-iron to the head. The killing of our hero. The killing of our great, intrepid leader. Just kill him off. Just kill him off by some random girl. I'm so grateful to Neil Druckmann and HBO for our partnership. And I'm even more grateful to the millions of people who have joined us on this journey. Mazin said about the renewal, the audience has given us the chance to continue it. And as a fan of the characters and world Neil and Naughty Dog created, it couldn't be more ready to dive back in. No, you're not a fan, because if you were a fan, you wouldn't be doing the changes you did. You wouldn't be doing... I need to find the interview, but they talked about, hey, well, you get the snogging at the end of the episode. Why is that happening? Oh, no. You get that snogging between Tess and Joel? No, that's not it. But you get the zombie making out with Tess. What's that about? Well, apparently, if you don't show any signs of being a problem to the zombies or the infected, they're just going to come up and kiss you and sexually assault you. But that doesn't make sense, because when you take the episode 1, Sarah wasn't showing any apprehension or aggression towards the zombie lady. But zombie lady comes up at her and tries to attack her and kill her. So this doesn't make sense. Where is that? What kind of direction? Where you're expecting your spores backlash. Yeah, they talked about the spores backlash. I've learned to expect backlash from sneezing. You've learned to expect backlash from sneezing. Oh, people love this creation, and you're bastardizing it because Neil Druckmann hates it. We're getting our Last of Us Season 2, though, and you know what's going to happen with Season 2. We're going to get Part 2 of The Last of Us. Oh, critics love Part 2. Users don't. Yeah, it's sitting at a 5.8. But that's more because, but when you look at it, positive. Mixed, negative. Critics overwhelmingly loved it. Audiences hated it. Oh, but that was review bombed. It's sitting good. After 2 years, it made all of its money, although... Initial release data, amazing. All that release data, that day 1 or week 1 release data, all fantastic. Went away fast, but you know what did do well? Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima, I cannot say it right. Tsushima did really well, and in fact showed all their data throughout the entire time it was coming out. Got Player's Choice Award that same year. Came out the same time, got the Player's Choice Awards. Oh, but that grinds Druckmann's gears, because critics gave The Last of Us all the awards, but the players chose Ghost of Tsushima. The game sucks. Part 2 sucks. You're going to be delving into Part 2 in the next season. You know it's going to happen. We all know where these roads lie. We know it lies with Joel's head being bashed in within the first hour of the game. Roughly, probably the first, second, or probably Season 2, Episode 2. Joel's going to get his head bashed in. You're going to have insufferable Ellie that now, she's alive. Well, she's trying to get her wife all impregnated in a post-apocalyptic world. Oh, whatever it's called, inseminated. You're going to have Abby being Big Papa Pump Abby, overly buffed up Abby, who's a girl, and you're going to get a nice, wonderful from behind scene. Oh, critics are going to love it. Critics are going to love it. Oh, Neil Druckmann did it again. But viewers hated it. Some of the only things that people love about The Last of Us is Pedro Pascal as Joel. I don't get it. Pedro Pascal has a weird fan base. People are going to lose it when you off him with a 5-iron. So I'm going to sit here and laugh as this show inevitably implodes because of Neil Druckmann. And I'm going to go all the way to the bank. But let me get you guys' thoughts down in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it out with your friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video go live. Check me on my next one, and bye for now.